Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
Hi guys, welcome to our review for Uncut Gems. I'm Sabrina.
This is RB3.
And so today we're talking about Uncut Gems. It's a Safdie Brothers film. We saw it last week at ArcLight Hollywood.
Yeah.
So good.
The awesome part about living in LA.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So this movie, I'll just go ahead and break down the plot.
Yeah.
It's about a jeweler played by Adam Sandler, and he is looking to make his next big score. He gets possession of like this mystical rock/gem that we don't really know all that much about. We see in the trailers, we have celebrity cameos like The Weeknd and Kevin Garnett.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Garnett plays a big part in Adam Sandler's character and the story overall. So I don't really want to give away that many plot details. Honestly,
Definitely
I'm kind of
not.
walking around and beating around the bush. But it's honestly because like you should go into this movie knowing as little as possible, and then
Seriously.
you're gonna have a real pleasant surprise like walking out of it.
No,
So.
definitely. We even the car ride home, I was speechless once I finished this film.
Yeah.
The thing I wrote, I'll just read my Letterboxd review really fast, and then we could get into
Okay.
some other stuff because it's nice and short.
Yeah.
So I said the Safdie brothers have created an intense and okay.
Edit.
Yeah, edit that.
Mm-hmm.
The Safdie brothers have created an intense and dizzying masterpiece, easily one of my favorite films of the year. In a year that's already stacked with so many brilliant films, Adam Sandler is effing spectacular when working with material of this caliber. He's truly mesmerizing as Howard Ratner. The cinematography is vibrant and stunning, but incredibly gritty and dirty at the same time. And the same goes for the world the Safdies built throughout the film. All of the glamour and fame is muddled by the truth, the ugliness and the gaudy nature of the world and lifestyle that Howard Ratner is living in. And I said I want to rewatch the last 30 minutes over and over.
Yeah. That's great diction. Oh my God, those are words that I can't even. Really salute to that. I mean,
Thank
no.
you.
Yeah, that's that. I think that perfectly encapsulates like the nature of this movie. It's so unexpected.
Definitely.
It's so shocking.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I liken it to an Adam Sandler movie on acid.
Yeah.
I think it's literally you could take a lot of the plot points that you see in this movie and put them in an Adam Sandler comedy and it'll work in a very comedic way.
Yeah.
But then it's just taken from like the vision of two incredibly talented but very dark and cynical filmmakers with the Safdie brothers, and they take the most grittiest, like you said, most ugly side of the jewelry business, how to unglamorize the idea of jewelry and bling and make it like this gritty, dirty underworld that this film encapsulates. But meanwhile, having somebody like an Adam Sandler who, even though he is a comedic actor, he's still giving like a really heavy, dramatic performance because his character has a lot of flaws and he's a very deeply flawed individual. But you see Adam Sandler kind of playing on a lot of levels of that. So.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It was intense. They know how to create this just intense environment with the sound.
Yeah.
The sound design, people talking over each other, and how kind of dizzying it is. I know I said that in my Letterboxd review. With that and then the score mixed together. Oh,
scores,
gosh.
I think the score alone is one of my favorite scores, I think, of the entire year so far. The opening credits, I had a big grin on my face because this movie, you go into this movie and you think it's just going to be a straightforward like crime drama, but it is a borderline experimental film. There are a lot of from the score choices to the stylistic choices, like you said, the anxiety that this movie produces. A lot of it shot in like very close, tight up angles to really give you that like maximum intensity for every single scene. And yeah, it's the gritty, it's the 1970s like hardcore, ugly crime drama mixed with the experimental film, mixed with an Adam Sandler comedy, and those are
because it is funny.
It is really
There's
funny.
There's parts that are so funny. So it's really it's this like the way it all melts together is so interesting, and the fact that it completely works.
Yeah.
All the comedic beats literally worked for me. All the moments where your anxiety is like super heightened, which is a lot of this film.
Yeah.
Completely worked, and just the ending, the way everything paid off. Don't look up any spoilers or anything. Just go, as you said, go into it blind. It's just like mesmerizing and electrifying the way all of that came together. And like Howard Ratner is so shitty. He's such a
human being.
Guy, bad guy. But like for some reason, I found myself rooting for him the entire time. Like I'm like, okay, get this one. Okay, now that you did this, stop. And then he does something again. He's doing more gambling, more like all this like seedy underbelly stuff in like the Diamond District in New York. So it's so interesting the way that we're rooting for him. Yeah, and I really loved Good Time.
Yeah, that was a Safdie Brothers' previous film.
Yeah, so I really loved Good Time. So them coming back and doing this again, like this very chaotic energy, like heightened anxiety film, I absolutely loved it. Like the kind of films they're creating right now, it interests me a lot. It's so different from something like from a lot that I've seen lately. So it was nice and refreshing. Yeah, no, they definitely have a strong original voice. I mean, that's really the biggest thing I came out of it. What a powerful voice to have just in making movies, because the movie literally begins completely unrelated to the main story, but opens with this Ethiopian miners digging up this jewel, and it seems like it's something almost like out of that Blood Diamonds movie with Leonardo DiCaprio or something like that. But it plays with so many different genres and ideas and themes, but it incorporates it all into this really highly entertaining movie. And I personally connect with it on a couple of different levels. I'm a big NBA fan, and if you're a big NBA fan, you're going to take a lot from this movie because a lot of like I said, Kevin Garnett, to me, I thought he was just going to be a cameo, but he was almost like the second lead. It's actually crazy. I didn't know that he was an athlete. Yeah, I thought he was an actor playing an athlete. Oh no! So I'm super impressed by his performance. Yeah, it's really cool to see that. He was playing himself, but then he still looked like the same way he looked in 2012 when they're showing the archive footage. And it's funny because I roughly remembered that playoff season that they're referencing in this film, and I knew that, I knew a certain end result, but I didn't remember like what was Kevin Garnett's role in this, how to incorporate that. And they use a quote at the end of this film. I almost felt like they almost wrote the movie around this basketball series, because they use a quote from Kevin Garnett in this film that is just so on the nose and so perfect. It just makes, to me, it's the conclusion of this movie is just so. It's ugly, but it's beautifully satisfying too. Like definitely all around. So I really dig this movie a lot. I also dig this movie because I've had my string of pawning jewelry myself. I've definitely been in that. Yeah, trust me. I've definitely been in a lot of those shady situations, and that anxiety is real. You'll feel that. Like, get this money before this pays off. But this movie takes it to a whole nother level. So. Yeah, that is absolutely insane. I think it's definitely one of Sandler's career best. That string of tweets that came out of an article where he was talking about how if he doesn't get like the best actor, he's gonna make a movie that's really bad. I saw it before I saw this, and I was just like, okay, like he seems good in the trailer and stuff. This is taking it to another level. Thought it was super funny. But now he deserves a nomination. Oh yeah, for sure. I completely agree with him now. It's a crowded year for the best actor category, but this is something that, and again, it wouldn't work as well if we didn't know the genre that Adam Sandler like already resides in, right? Yeah. Like we know him as the goofball guy. So like this movie, if you took this movie and put another actor in it and had some of the more goofier moments that this movie had, it would take you completely out of the movie. If this was like Matthew McConaughey or like Brad Pitt, and there are some moments that happen in this movie that are just like embarrassing, it wouldn't have worked. But because we know it's Adam Sandler, he embodies that role. But meanwhile, he's still playing to the great dramatic sensibilities that he's shown in the past. I know. I forget how good he is with that kind of stuff because I do love like Punch Drunk Love and those kind of films. So seeing him back in this like wheelhouse again, so good. It's one of my favorites of the year. Obviously. We'll talk about it later. I know I keep saying this, but this year is so amazing in film. I'm really impressed. Like every time I go see another one, I'm super happy. But yeah, the Safdie brothers, I think they're incredible, and I kind of think this like cements them as one of the best filmmakers right now. Yeah. Just because they keep putting out like such good ones. So I'm excited to see everything that they're going to have in the future. Oh, one more thing I want to say. Yeah. So I'm like not a gambler at all. Yeah. Gambling like freaks me out. Yeah. So yeah, throughout this entire film, the last 30 minutes, I don't know if you saw me, but I was just squirming. Like I was literally I had a hoodie and I was covering my face. That kind of stuff freaks me out so much and gives me so much anxiety. But as emotionally exhausting and like physically like draining this movie is, it felt really good. It felt really good to watch it. I really love it. I saw it one more time actually. So I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it twice. Nice. Those last 30 minutes, man. They're There's something.
It's a tough movie, and I again, if you're of the light of heart, maybe take it easy on this film. You might want to watch it at home, but because it's definitely it's fatal and it's dark and it's weird. But if you're down for some experimental crime comedy thriller gambling movie, this is the one for you. So
No.
I'm done. It means nothing. It meant nothing. Please, give me another shot.
Yeah, so if you guys are interested in this film, by what we said, I would definitely encourage you to go see it. It's a huge recommendation from me, one of my favorites of the year. I've been telling everybody to go see it. So it opens wide on Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely go with your family,
Perfect
go
Christmas
with your friends.
movie. Yeah, just totally freak out.
Dark, gritty.
Yeah, freak out your grandma on Christmas watching Uncut Gems. No, I totally agree. I mean, when we first saw it, I walked out of it kind of, it has an ending that's could be polarizing, and I usually hate movies that have endings like that.
Really?
Every movie that has a very extreme ending one way or another, I'm like, yo, come on, you didn't have to do that. But after just sitting on it for the next few days, I couldn't stop listening to the score. I couldn't stop thinking about a lot of scenes that I thought were just super memorable. I couldn't stop thinking about how much this movie made me laugh and how much this movie kept me on the edge of my seat. So it really shot up to, I think, probably one of the top 2 or 3 of the year for me so far. So
definitely.
Yeah, salute to the Safdie Brothers. I actually remember putting them on my top. Me and Ace did a top 5 directors of 2017. I think that was the year Good Time came out.
Yeah.
And I put them as one of my picks back then. So thanks for living up to the expectation, fellas.
Oh my God, definitely.
Yeah,
I even like this one better than Good Time.
Yeah. No, me too.
Oh my gosh. So
and
they're
Robert
just outdoing
Pattinson,
themselves.
That's our Batman. Who's
Yes.
Adam Sandler playing next? Could be our next Tony Stark. You never know.
Hey. Perfect casting.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that is it for our review of Uncut Gems. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm Sabrina.
This is RB3.
And we're heading out.
KJ, it's game night. You should be stretching out.
What is he, a coach?
Nah, he's just a fucking crazy ass Jew.